The Tale of Two Rivers. Long ago, in a distant kingdom, two rivers carved their way through the land, shaping the terrain and bringing life to the people who depended on them. These rivers, the Serene Vale and the Tempest Torrent, were no ordinary waterways. Legends whispered that they had a life of their own, their currents carrying more than water. They carried emotions, desires, and wills. The Serene Vale was a gentle, crystal-clear river, winding gracefully through lush meadows and sleepy villages. Its waters were sweet, nourishing the land and its people. It was said that those who drank from it felt peace and contentment fill their hearts. The Tempest Torrent, in contrast, was a wild, roaring river with dark, churning waters. It cut through jagged cliffs and treacherous forests, flooding villages in its path and tearing trees from their roots. Those who dared approach it often spoke of strange whispers in the mist, filling their hearts with anger and fear. One fateful spring, the two rivers began to clash. Their waters surged and twisted, their banks swelling as if trying to claim dominion over the other. In the plains where they met, a violent struggle erupted. Waves rose like serpents, clashing with ferocious intensity, while the skies above darkened with ominous clouds. The villagers nearby, terrified of the raging waters, could only flee and watch from afar. For days the rivers battled, their fury unmatched. But on the seventh day, a miraculous event unfolded. From the meeting point of the two rivers, two figures began to emerge. They were no longer mere rivers, but had taken human form. From the Serene Vale rose a radiant woman, her hair like spun silver, her eyes deep and compassionate. She wore a flowing gown of shimmering blues and greens, her presence calming the storm around her. This was Valia, the spirit of serenity, with a heart as pure as the waters she once commanded. From the Tempest Torrent came another woman, equally striking but with an aura of darkness. Her hair was black as night, cascading like a waterfall, and her piercing eyes glinted with mischief. She wore a gown of shadows and swirling mist, her beauty as dangerous as it was alluring. She called herself Toria, the spirit of chaos, with a heart that craved turmoil and dominance. "You cannot destroy everything in your path, Toria," Valia said, her voice as soothing as a lullaby. "The people need peace and life, not fear and ruin." Toria laughed, her voice like thunder echoing through the valley. "Peace is weakness, sister. The world thrives on power and change, even if it comes through destruction. I will claim this land, and my waters shall rule." The sisters began to argue, their words sparking a magical duel. Where Valia stepped, flowers bloomed, and the air grew warm and fragrant. Where Toria moved, the ground cracked, and storms swirled around her. Their battle was fierce, yet it was clear that neither could fully defeat the other. But then, a young villager named Elan, who had watched from afar, decided to intervene. Elan was a humble farmer, yet his heart was brave, and his love for the land and its people was deep. He approached the warring spirits, his voice trembling but resolute. "Stop this madness!" he cried. "Don't you see that your fight is tearing our land apart? You are both powerful, but together you could bring balance. We need both peace and change, serenity and strength. Can't you find harmony?" Valia hesitated, her gaze softening as she looked at the young man. Toria sneered but seemed intrigued by his audacity. "Why should I share my power?" Toria asked. "What's in it for me? Your strength will be remembered, not as a force of destruction, but as a force that helped shape a better world," Elan replied. "Even chaos can have purpose if it's tempered by compassion." Valia stepped forward, extending a hand toward her sister. "He's right. Let's stop this fight. Together we can make the land thrive." For a moment, Toria hesitated, her pride warring with the wisdom in their words. Finally, she sighed, her stormy demeanor calming. "Very well, sister, but remember, chaos will always have its place." The two spirits joined hands, and in that moment, their energies intertwined. The rivers beneath them merged, creating a single, mighty waterway that was both gentle and fierce, nourishing and challenging. The land flourished, and the people prospered, their lives shaped by the harmony of the two rivers. And though Valia and Toria eventually vanished into legend, their spirits lived on in the great river they created. To this day, the people tell the story of the two sisters, one with a good heart, the other with an evil heart, who learned that even the most opposite forces could come together to bring balance to the world.